If you are watching this video for the first time, please watch it till the end. Do not start working or applying while watching until you watch it again, because there are certain information that you will definitely need to watch it twice to grasp it. And I'm trying my best to explain it as simple as possible, but today we are talking about the Muqarnas, one of the most complex geometries historically, and it's really important to respect the complexity, but trying to make a parametric approach out of it. So, without diving into too many details, let's start. So this is the Muqarnas, and it is one of the most complex geometries in history, and it's really based on a specific pattern. When you try to simplify that pattern, it becomes more either triangles or rectangles, depends on which approach you are going to. And this image is the most simpler explaining for what we are trying to explain. But let's see this as a 3D. This is what we have. But I want to work on something a little bit resembles the shadows and the lights of the Muqarnas, but it's a little bit simpler. So it's not as complex and it's not as intense as the Muqarnas, but still respect the features of the Muqarnas. So I will try to do something similar to this, inspired by it, and also similar to this, and also a little bit similar to this design, which you can see it in here, something similar to this. So it's a little bit represents the features of the Muqarnas, but it's not Muqarnas in the most conventional way. So it's a little bit more modern. So let's start. So I already have a quad surface. It's not fully rectangle, it's just quad. So this is intentional because I want my Muqarnas to fit this surface. So if I change the surface, it will parametrically change. And this is the first thing that we want to do. I will hide this and simply make a quad panels. And I wanted to have a symmetry quad panels because it matters a lot, at least in this approach. So if I'm saying 10, I want both the U and V to be 10. So if I reduce this, it will reduce automatically, and that is important. And this number is going to control a lot of things, so it matters to me to keep it in here somewhere. And if I'm going as a list item, if I go to list item, and I want my first item to be somewhere here, so this will be the first one. So my surface, I want to explode it and remove all the points, any duplicate points, and then just grab those points. So I'll go list item, and I will simply make this, and then for P. Okay, so right now I have four point surface, and then just add this to here. And in here I can, if this is good, this is still in here. And if I need to change it, then I will shift this, and I will create this from 0 to 3 because it's either 0 or 1 or 2 or 3. And then I will shift like that. So right now, if I select this and clicked on shift, 1 is here, 2, 3. Let me change the color because the color is not very obvious. I think this is better for now. Okay. This step is not very necessary, but it's important to control the surface that you are working on. So I think it would be better to have this part. But if the surface is working just fine, then you can just keep it as it is. And right now, this is great. So what I want to create is something really important. When you look at this diagram, it's basically what I want to create. So I want to create multiple groups of rectangles or quads, and each group will contain a specific amount of elements. So for example, this one is going to contain only one, and the next one will contain the 1 and 6, and so on. And right now I want to create the series that will control all of this. So this part will be very complex, so just pay attention a little bit. Right now, I'm going to get all of these. I'm going to create something very fast, and I will make it. I will speed this part. Okay, these are just the numbers because it will matter a lot in what we are doing. So the first thing I want to do is to create a series. And this series is going to be the starting point. So I want my first starting point to be 0, and then the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to control the half of this. So I want this to be that. So right now, when I look at my data tree, or the elements that I have, it's going to be that. So this is the first part, which is really good. The second part is how many elements in this. So when you look back at this, you can see that the first one is one element, the second one is two elements, the third one is three elements, and so on. So this will matter a lot. So right now I want to create another series, and this one will start from 0. Okay, I want this one to actually start from 1, because I want the first one to have one element, and then move on until we have multiple numbers. So the last one will have 5, 6 elements. The last one will have 6 elements. So that should be good. Let's see what we have done. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and this is good. And I want to create another series. And this series, I will have this in here, but I will graft it. And I will have this in here, but I will graft it also. And this part is a little bit tricky. So let's see what we have so far. So right now I have this as 0, and then I have 1 and 2. That's not what I want. I want to have 1 and then jump to 6. So let's see if we can do this. And right now I'm moving to 0 and then 1 and 7. So in this case, I will just click in here and make this x minus 1. So right now, if you look closely, this is 0 and then 1 and 6, which is good, and then 2, 7 and 12, which is 2, 7 and 12, and then you can look at this and 3, 8, 13, 18, so it's exactly what we are looking for. And this number will matter a lot, so I'm going to connect it like that. And let's try to change it. So if we go like this and try to check the last one, so it's 6 and then 12 and then 18 and then 24 and then so on until 42. So this is exactly what I'm looking for. And right now, if I go to list item and select those right now, and simply go to tree branch, and this is the first branch. If I go to just another number, so if I go, this is the first, the second, the third, this is exactly what I'm looking for. And right now I made this, which is really good, but right now I need to continue to the other side of the matrix. So let's do that. This is good. I want to create another complex thing like that, but it's a little bit difficult because right now if I'm going to do this, these numbers are not starting where it should be starting. So I want them to start somewhere relative to this. So if I look at here, if I look at these, I want this to start as from this 13. So the 13 right now is basically somewhere here. The closest one to that 13 is this 12. So I want to get the last tree branch and then get the second number and then add 1. This might be a little bit confusing, but let's try to do that. So I want my starting point to be at the last branch. So I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to the tree statics. And when I go to the tree statics, I will get how many branches in there. So I will say, give me the last branch. So I will go list, I will go tree branch. By the way, this, if you missed this, this is a previous component that I already did. I'm using it a lot because it saves me a lot of time. It's just tree statics and list item and tree branch. You can create it and customize it as you wish, but this is, I use it a lot. Okay, and I want the branches to be from here. I'm going to use this, and I want this. So if I'm looking right now, right now it's selecting the first branch. So if I go to this and say x minus 1, so it's selecting the last branch, and then I will say list item and select the second one. Right now this is good because I want this to, let's just move this a little bit somewhere here. Organizing the data, or organizing the script, is a crucial point in this design. And I'm going to use this in here as a starting point. And I'm going to say that this one will be x plus 1. So what matters to me right now is that if I changed this number, for example, like this, then the first number in here should be this 9. Is it true? Yes, it's true. This is good. This is really good, but I need some more modification. So everything will work exactly as I wish. The second thing I want to do is to get this, because right now in here there were 5 numbers, but right now I want this to be 4, because right now I want the first number to be 9, and then 14, and then 19, and then 24. So I want to get this number right here, but I want to make an expression and make it x minus 1 and connect it to here, so it's connected to everything related to this. And this is going very well. I hope you are not confused by all of this. So right now I'm starting from 9, but I'm moving not in a good way. So let's see what we have in here. This one should be, let me check. This one should be a little bit different. I think this one should be this number, which is the original number. So when you are, if this is 5, for example, and you are moving from 9, then when you add 5, you will get 19, and for 14 and 19 and 24. So this is good. So this one is good. That's great. So is this good yet? Let's see. Let's check. So the first one is 9. No, I want this to be reversed, because I want this to be 4 numbers, and then 3 and 2 and 1. So something needs to be happening in here. So this one will start from this number. So it's starting from 4. I want those to be 4. And then those also, those are 4. Okay, perfect. And let's check. Right now we have 9 and 13, so this number is not good, and 7, and so this number needs to be changed. So I think in this case we don't need this. And right now we have 9, 13, 17, 21, and this number is going higher. We need this to be minus 1, negative 1. So right now we have 4 elements, 3 elements, 2 elements, and 1 element, which is good. This is exactly what we need. And right now we have this, which is good. And then we will select another one, which is this. And right now, I'm sorry, this is in here. and this in here. So right now we have our tree, and let's organize a little bit more. So we will have this. So this one is going to be the start number, and this one is going to be the list length, and it matters a lot. So that's really great. I think right now, if you are, let's go back to here. If you group all of this, if you group those and flatten and select list item, let's see what we have done. So this is the first group, the second group, the third group. That's great. And I want to do the same in here. If I did that, and I will go list item again, and this is the first group, the second group, the third group. So when I merge all of them together and try to visualize this, so just to be clear, I will do the visualizing part, so I will speed it. Okay, so this part is just for visualizing purpose, but it will help you understand what we have achieved and what we have done. And yes, I think this might be the most difficult part of the script because it's just a lot to process. But right now, I think everything is going to be a little bit more easier. The next thing is to move all of this, and right now I want to move them. So if I go to, if I did something like this and I create a series again and I move them, let's say 0.2, something very small, and then I will move them something like that, but I want to make sure if I did list length and just make it like this. So I think at this point I want to go back to the color white, or something a little bit more like that, so it will be more obvious. Yes, and right now you can see that everything is getting a little bit more interesting. And I like a lot that this is updating perfectly without any problems. This took me a little bit of time to figure out, but this number is very, very important because it controls the whole thing. And after that, we want, because right now they are groups, so I will ungroup everything and make a quad panels again. And in this case, I want them to be 2. I don't want things to be very complex, but you can make them into any amount of complexity that you want. But for now, I think 2 is good enough because the previous part was already heavy. And then I want to move them in groups, but right now there are 4. And just to understand this, let me just try to do something really quick. So the first thing I want to do is to simply just separate this and then separate this, and both of those will be moved as a group, or as the same height, so this will matter. And right now I will just separate them, so list item, normal list item. By the way, we can create something complex like this, but at this point I think it will be just easier to do it manually and to just keep it as 4. We can make it more complex than that, but for now I don't want to make the script more complex than this because it will be too much. After that I want to move, of course, and I will select the first one, and as you can see, the first one in this case, if you select this, so the first one is this one, and I want to move it somewhere in here, so it will be closer to the 2/3 of the way or something. So I want to make a series, and the series is going to be relative to this number, which is this amount. and I want to organize things a little bit. So this number is going to be here, and I want it to be the start and the step, and then the count are I want three groups of numbers. So right now I will select this, and I want to divide this point 2 into three numbers. So I will simply go to here and x divided by 3. So right now I should have something like that, which is really good. That's exactly what I'm looking for. And I want this number to be in the negative because I want to move them down. And after that, I want to make a list item. So this is the first one, and the second one, and the third one. And I want to move this in the Z direction, of course. I don't need this anymore. And this is the first one. Since this is the back, so it will be the last number, which is this. And then I will go to the other one with this, Control C, and I want it to be in this number right here. So this number to be in here, which is, this is the front, so the front will be the first number, which is the highest. And then those two will be the second number in here, which is this. I think there's something not quite. Okay, this is the first, so this should be in this number right here. And this one is not going to be this one is going to be this. So right now, if we are looking exactly what we have done, so we have this one, and then we have this one, and then we have this one, and then we have this one. So it should be something like this. And after that, I'm going to merge all of these. And after that, I'm going to project. I need a point somewhere to extrude everything in here. Let's hide this for a second just to figure out what we have done. This is really, really incredible so far. So let's project. Let's get a point to project to. So I will go a little bit back somewhere in here where we have moved those. And I'm going to go to bound box to create a bounding box, but I want to create a bounding box for everything, so it's a union box. And then I will deconstruct it, deconstruct brep, and then list item, and reverse. So when you are reversing, you will get the first one in here, which is the projection point that I'm looking for. So I will simply say project, and this project will be for this on this. And right now you have everything in here is projected, so let's hide this for a second. Okay, I think for now this is the first approach, so I will separate it just like that, and then I will do one more thing, which is loft. But before I loft, I need to match the data tree. So right now we have those and we have those, and they are a lot. So I will just make an entwine. I don't want the hassle of all of this. And then flip the matrix. Right now we have two clean branches. I will just flip the matrix. So right now we will have two elements in each branch, and then loft. And that's it, I think, and cap it. And we will have our first approach as a Muqarnas. So we will group this and preview off, and let's see what we have done. Let's preview off everything in here. And this is the first approach, which is the simplest one. this is just very, very simple, but it represents what the Muqarnas might look like. You can transform this into either decoration, so you can add lights or something, or maybe use it for art, carve something into it, or maybe use it as architecture. So you can probably go to the front for something like this and select probably all of these, for example, and go to Gumbo relocate and go to some points in here and just push all of them down like this, and you might have, you know, the beginning of a building or something very interesting architecturally. But for now I will keep it like this, and you can from this point the design is yours, you can do whatever you want. But this is the first approach. The second approach, or the second element, is the slanted a little bit. So let's try to do that. And to do that, we will get those again. Probably not. Let's get those again and explode them. For now, let's hide this. Let's go back to here and probably add it to one of the layers and just hide it. Change object layer. And right now I will explode all of these. So I will have something like this, and then just remove any duplicate points just in case. And then I will move the points, but I need to separate them first. So I will have this one, which is that. I want the second one, the third one, the fourth one. Okay, so perfect. And after that, I want those exact numbers right here. And let's see. So the number in here is this. And I will move right now, moving which one? Let's just organize our things. So I'm moving this. Those two should be on the same number. So probably those two. Probably in here. Okay, this one and this one. Okay, so this one right here. Okay, so right now both of them are on the same level. That's good. Let's move this to here, just so we'll not be confused. And then give me another one, which is the second. This one is the back, so it should be the lowest number. Probably this. And then we will need one more, which is this, and move it there. And just to be clear, let's make a merge for all of them, and then make a polyline. And let's see what we have done. So is it good or not? I don't think it's good yet. So let's see what we have missed. I think it's just the organization, and also those two numbers needs to be replaced. So this one and this one. So it's moving in the front, and then to organize the points themselves. So this one and this one. Yes, this is exactly what I want, but right now it looks flat, so I need to go back to here and then bring all of the numbers in here, and then simply select this and divide it by 2 probably. I think 2 in this case is good, and that's the second approach almost. We will simply just make this into surface. And once you made it into surface, you can just duplicate everything in here, Control C, and then add it to this. and let's see what you have done. So this is the second approach, which is very interesting, to be honest. And maybe if you don't want this to be divided by 2, you can try 3. Let's try 3. 3 makes more interesting, I think. Or maybe let's try 1.5. I think 1.5 is going to be almost as flat. It depends on the number that you want, but I think for now, let's try 2. 2 makes more sense. But okay, this is good. And for now, I will just bake it. Yes, okay. And again, you can do the same that we have done for the first one if you want to select part of it and make it into architecture. And for now, I will move this to the other side. So I will mirror it from here to here and do not copy, just like that. So when I show, I will add it. I will add this to here, change object layer. And that's the second approach. So all of this are going to be in here. Okay. The third approach is a little bit different because it will make a little bit of curves inside all of that. So I will go back to here and let's see those again. Okay, so I will need to move. I will need to move those, but I will need to move them based on this number right here, which is like almost 0.66, something similar to that. And the reason is I want to, first of all, I will get those in here because I will use them somehow. Yes, like that. And I want to scale all of them, so I will get the scaled version of this, and I want to explode because I want to scale from the furthest point, which is somewhere in here, and get list item. I don't want this. Just remove any duplicate points, and let's say 3, 2, 1. Yes, this one. And I want this to be the center, and the factor itself, let's say 0.15, something very, very small, but I want this to be grafted, so everything is relative like that. And that's great. I want to move all of them, but I want to move them something similar to this number, but it will be divided by 2. So let's see, I want this to be x divided by 2, so it will be in the middle. I'm sorry, this needs to be negative, so it will be in the middle, and then I will simply merge, maybe entwine in this case, entwine, and then I will select the first object, which is in here, and then the second object, which is this, and the third object, which is this, and then flip the whole matrix and simply loft. But I think this one needs a little bit this one needs to be loose, so it will be moving a little bit controlled with this, not just like that. And I think right now, if we are doing everything correctly, we can merge all of these. First of all, we are going to cap them, cap the whole thing, and let's see what we have in here. Are they good? I think these are what we have, what we need. So we can simply merge. We can simply merge those with those, and then you will have your third approach, which is basically this. So this is the, I think, the most or the closest thing to, this is the closest thing to the Muqarnas, which I think really interesting architecturally, and also as a decoration or whatever you are looking for. But this is I think really interesting. And please let me know uh, if you have learned something very interesting today. And this episode had to be a little bit longer than the other ones because it's talking about something very complex, but hopefully it's manageable for you to learn and to apply. If you don't want to go through all of this, you can always find the file on my Patreon. And thank you so much, and see you in the next episode.